but there's a lot of noises in the water, and around the ship there's this horrible roaring sound. If you don't know what's coming, it's a shocker. I know what's over there. It is a Leviathan Reaper, or Reaper Leviathan.
Yes, there is a risk of being beaten. Something could jump me and try to eat me at any time. But I'm not just leaping down the first open throat I see.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Hokey smokes, yes indeed. Yesterday was very sunny, very warm in this area. The days of it just being totally cold are probably behind, since like tomorrow's June, and it gets really hot starting from now on. Yay. I at least slept, and that's good. I didn't sleep well, but I slept. Like I went to bed right around midnight, 1 o'clock, woke up, 2 o'clock, woke up, 3 o'clock, woke up. So, didn't sleep a ton, but at least I slept some, and that's good. Yay. And I went walkies last night, and boy, it gets dark late. So, it was bright and sunny during my entire walkies, and that's good. I did the whole walk up to Walmart and back. Definitely a good thing. And hey, front loading of videos, boy, oh joy. If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you like what you hear and see, if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that'd be a thumbs up. If you could leave me a comment, that too would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are literally beautiful and literally awesome. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get through my executive dysfunction and get this all updated here very soon. But these beautiful people literally are helping to keep me alive, and I do appreciate that. My pets appreciate that, my kitty cat, my hamster, and me. So thumbs up and thank you. If you'd like to help me out, the links to the Patreon are in the show more video description. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, there's an Amazon wishlist link with cat food on it. So thumbs up on that. Front loading the videos over. Yay! So yeah, I existed yesterday and I'm existing today, and it's warm in here. So oh boy, as soon as I'm done recording, box fans going back on, doors getting cracked open with that box fan out there, get a nice breeze going through. Hokey smokes, gotta love that. Still in all though, I mean, life is life. And as stated, I gone on walkies yesterday, and that's good. I fell asleep a lot yesterday, but then I also had a whole bunch of gluten products, and one of the side effects from eating gluten is falling asleep. So on top of the medications I take that make me sleepy, I went and stuffed myself with a food product that I cannot process properly, and one of the side effects being, bloating and sleepiness and brain fog. So yeah, I didn't get a whole ton done yesterday. I have been playing various games, trying to do things. I was playing Subnautica. I have always had a phobia about deep water, and I mean, that's common of a lot of people, but I don't like seaweed at all. I mean, it's so gross, it's vile, it's ugh. I can't even stand the idea of being touched by seaweed. Just that is enough to just gross me out so thoroughly. I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's only knee deep. If I'm brushing it up against seaweedy type stuff, ugh. It's like improper textures in my food, or folded cloth when I'm putting it on. It's part of where I am on my particular autism spectrum. I believe that this is the whole seaweed thing, but fact remains, playing Subnautica, lots of seaweed. Now, I've watched other people play the game. I've seen Jacksepticeye play it from beginning to end, so I know what's in the game. I still don't want to come up across a lot of those things, but going up near the ship, if you know the game Subnautica, there's a crashed ship that's mostly out of the water, and you can get to it from your drop ship, your life pod, and so you can get up close to it. But there's a lot of noises in the water, and around the ship there's this horrible roaring sound. If you don't know what's coming, it's a shocker. I know what's over there. It is a Leviathan Reaper, or Reaper Leviathan, one gigantic death beast. I haven't wanted to run into that, but I've needed the resources near the ship, and so of course I lost all but just a tiny sliver of my health when the Reaper Leviathan decided to beat me about the head and shoulders with its body. Yeah, that's a terrifying encounter. I do not like that thing. It's deep water, horrific beasties, phobias, and ugh. So yeah, fun game. Great amounts of body horror. Well, not body horror, just terror and horror. There is body horror with a disease you get, but thumbs up for that. So I've been doing that and watching videos and listening to music. I've also discovered this morning that I had about 2 weeks ago, not even that, a week ago, started coming out of my latest depressive trough. And this morning I've been feeling kind of empty and hollow. So that's not a good feeling. And my kitty cat is being super active this morning. She keeps pacing, going from open window to over here to open window to back there to open window to over here. So if you've been hearing her thumping around, she's making the paces. I don't know what she wants. Yay. So survival is just survival. I'm doing what I can, and that's all good. Some of the things that I do want to talk about, I have some things on here. One of the things is Confused Owl 29 had mentioned that when I was talking about my journey to the steps that I go for 5-6 mile walkies every day now, when 7 years ago I never walked at all. Well, 7 years ago? No, 8 or more. After my wife died, I started walking. And yes, the journey of anything begins with a single step. It can be daunting. So never try to look at the big picture, because the future isn't here yet. All you have is possibilities and right now. So yeah, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You have to take that step. Look at it that way and go on into the future. It's a very good thing. Yay. If you can. I mean, sometimes there's conditions where you can't. You know, whether it's actual genetic or whether you've gone through trauma, or, you know, there's just things. Hey. Also, I'm going to start talking about things of the creative sense, some of them big and heavy, some of them minor and silly. I've mentioned before how there's differences in some words, like we talk about sweaters in the United States, and it's like a jumper, I think, if you're in Britain. And so, you know, there's little tiny word differences. And so I was thinking, hey, razor's edge, because of the process, they talk about kerners. That's your kerner. It's a sweater if you're a U.S. citizen, but they call it a kerner. And if it got a hoodie, that's a kearney, and all that. And so there's various little words that I've tried to use to make differences. And I was thinking that while the sheriff is talking to the deputy about the catanope and the prophetic dreams that they are having, the sheriff describes to the deputy what this beast looks like, and at one point mentioned that it looks like a cat, a puffington. And so, a puffington, that's what the deputy has to look up, and discovers that, you know, I forgot to look up to see if the word has changed on the cat breeds, but it would just be Siamese. So on their phone, they just call up a picture of a Siamese cat. What we would do that. But that's a puffington. Named after an individual who had done something to create this particular type of thing. So if you hear them refer to like puffs or puffers or puffings or puffingtons or anything like that, it's that kind of cat. All these just tiny little differences to show that, yeah, it's the same place, it's still people, but it's a different place. Now, of course, I've been dealing with this without dealing with this, because it's a deeper part of the whole cosmic horror part. But people on the Razor's Edge, they don't speak the same languages we do on the outside, nor do they speak the same languages they do on the inside. And all of us here, if we all go inside, are not going to have any problems talking to them. Nor would they have any problems understanding any of us. One of the things that happens with the universe as you gain power on the cosmic horror sense, when you become Gakiru, you have the ability to step out of your universe and into any other. One of those other things that happens is you are given, oh, there's a fly that came in through the window, oh joy, is you are given access to 25% of this deeper Ur language of power that is just a basic part of reality. Human beings have very, very limited senses, but if you live on the inside of the razor's edge, you have about 10% more senses than we do out here. Extra universal chromosomes, extra universal gene set. So these individuals are able to see and sense about 10% more. While that does not make them a Gakiru, they're not strong enough. There is just enough that reality itself is going, you have this now. It's just a part of things, such as gravity causes weight on other things. That is a very, very insane way to put it, but hopefully you understand what I mean. So people understand without having to try and learn another's language, because you're not speaking your language, their language, they're not speaking yours, but reality is taking care of the issue. And of course, if I can remember this one, I've talked before about how the beginning of the whole thing, the project, Razor's Edge project, I want to have the sheriff, a sheriff, and an EMT who end up getting zapped by a great amount of energy that gets into, sucked into their bodies, and it changes them deep on the inside with no immediate effect. Unfortunately, within 3 months, the sheriff slows down and stops. And the cycle of life on the inside runs on 3 billion year cycles, and it's going to take 2.78 billion years for the sheriff to finish 3 seconds of life. They've slowed down that far. Oh, joy for them. But the EMT has grown to 25 feet tall in that same amount of time. But at the approximate 6-month part, they begin to change, becoming more like a satyr, goat type person, except they've got the lower legs of a deer type stag thing, raised up still bipedal with the abdomen and arms of a human being, and a stag head with a full set of antlers. And at 9 months, this forest elemental human being, once Telvin, the EMT, now changed, has decided that they have to leave. Their destiny, their future is not with people, not here. Tenasket Valley, where the city of Tenasket is a deep valley that if you're on the outside of the valley, it's only about 15 miles this way, 15 miles this way. You can circle it from the outside. Nobody has ever found the end of it from the inside. And at night, the energy that is normally present on the razor's edge flows back outward from the valley mouth, and it is a deeper, wilder, changed, and more feral energy. Not evil, just more primitive, more feral. And it is this energy that mixed with the extra universal energy that altered the sheriff and the EMT, Telvin. And now they have to leave. And I wrote down what they say, because once again, I don't want to trust my memory to these sort of things, but it's along the lines of, they say, there is a wind that blows from the valley, and part of that wind mixed with the energy that changed the sheriff and myself. I can taste that same energy as it billows from deep. That breeze from the valley, it feels like the breath in my lungs. There is a rhythm that comes from deep within, too quiet to hear, but I can feel it pulsing, and it feels like the beating of my heart. I do not even know what the questions are, and I do not know if I will understand what I will find if I even survive the journey. But the answers to my life are within Tenasket Valley, and I have to go and seek my destiny. And that is what they do. This 25-foot tall, half-human elemental forest being now, who was once Telvin, heads deep into the valley to try and find their destiny. So that's going to be a big thing. What do they find? That's a later story. That's who knows what they find. But that's for my creativity to work on, and maybe we'll come up with it for a later time. Yay! There's also, I wanted to talk about with David Alia Ortega, the guy who bums around with James Bakir. His cryptid has told him that his life is complete, but there's two ways to look at this. I mean, you can look at it from the outside. Look at it from, like, if you're an American citizen. What was David's life? Daff. Well, at 14, they left home. And then from 14 to like 27, they were just bumming around the world. No visible means of support, just not doing anything. Hanging around, traveling around the world, bumming around. Until finally they meet this monster who's eaten someone. And now they spend their time with this monster, planning, kidnapping, helping to kill, and watching their friend eat those that they have kidnapped. Is this a full and complete life? What is the cryptid talking about? But if you look at it from Daff's life, yeah, for the first 14 years of their life, they lived on the razor's edge where there was just trace amounts of this cryptid energy that they needed to survive, so they felt it was just tight, claustrophobic. There was no way to live. It was crushing. And at 14, yeah, they came to the outside where they could breathe. They could feel free. They could exist and stretch. And yeah, they spent their life traveling the world and meeting amazingly dangerous beings, supernatural creatures, cryptids, monsters, and befriended them for times. He traveled the world for 14 years doing this, meeting bizarre and strange individuals, until finally coming across this person who, in their horror and terror, found that they've killed and eaten someone, befriended them, helped them deal with their issues, and is still helping them to deal with their issues. Yes, they have to do horrible things, this other person, to live. But while Daff does help them to eat other people, he has never killed himself and has no plans to do so. Is Daff happy? Oh my gosh, of course he is. His life is complete. There's nothing for him to hope for past this. This has been great for him since the beginning. And I've opened up 24 hours. Excuse me. Worth of comments. I've opened up 24 hours on my community. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English. I'm going to go through and thank a bunch of people. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out what I was trying to say beforehand afterward. We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Always good to see you in the comments. We have Confused Owl 29. Always good to see you in the comments as well, my friend. JAYY, thumbs up and thank you. Then there is Piff God Ski Mask, thumbs up, and I hope you're serious, but thank you. We have Godly Matt, greatly appreciated. And there is Kryptonite, thumbs up. Fish Sticks 95, greatly appreciated. Conspo Lopez, still good to see you in the comments. Always good. Thank you very, very much for sticking around. We have Wasabi Covered Nuts, indeed, thumbs up. There is Ben B, greatly appreciated. Coco's, thumbs up and thank you. Lucas, thumbs up, and yeah, fun dancing doesn't mean going insane. It was just out of character for me, so it was amusing. There is Inte, T-A-E, thumbs up and thank you. Mohammed Rice, thumbs up and thank you very much. Trash Donars, greatly appreciated. Ice Damon, thumbs up and thank you. And then there is Gabriel Arroyo, thumbs up and thank you very much. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a short time and if only in text. Still greatly appreciated. Well, hey, it's Wednesday now. Where does the time go? But still, I'm going to try and get some things done that I still need to get done. Survival's more important than things like that, though. So if I can't, I'm not going to beat myself up. And if you can't get done the things that you want to get done, please do not beat yourself up. You're only going to make yourself feel bad, and that's not going to help anything. And of course, Covfefe Bug Raging, please just take your appropriate precautions, be smart, don't throw your body onto the corpse pile before you have to. Your story is over at that point, and that sucks, so just be careful. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and quite frankly, I do think that is a very good idea.